Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Saturday, June 29th, and we are here trying to help you make better financial decisions or maybe make big life decisions that don't blow up your financial side. So if something is going on, if you've got a question, are you weighing two different jobs? Are you thinking about a real estate transaction? Are you starting your own business? Are you looking for a pathway to retirement? Give us a holler. Go to jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and of course, please let us know if you would like to join us on the air. Right now, we're talking to Jason, who's on the line from California.
Yeah, so this is probably a little unusual, and I know hopefully this doesn't seem as ungrateful or anything. But so a few years ago, my wife's dad passed away, and which was terrible. But he was a very good investor, and over the years blessed us with quite an inheritance. He left us mostly inherited IRAs, so a lot of that money is tied up in retirement accounts, and I should say we're both in our early 40s, and also a home that he purchased in the mid 70s. So the home at the time that we inherited it was about valued at $1.2 million, and it was paid off, and currently it's valued at about $2 million. I want to see if there's anything we could do with that. Like, there's all this equity tied up in this house, and I'd love to retire early and spend time with the kids and all that. I just don't know how to do that in a safe way, or if I'm even just kind of wasting my time spinning my wheels thinking about it. We wouldn't want to do anything to sort of risk the house, but I have friends who are saying, you should take some equity out and invest it in, real estate syndications or,
all right, calm down with that.
Or something.
Let's just calm down on that part.
Okay.
So tell me, first of all, about this house. This house is sitting empty. Are you living in it, or what's happening?
We live in it. It was the house my wife grew up in, and the house that we're living in, and we're using it and we're loving it. It's a wonderful house that we could never afford on our own salaries in Southern California. So we are fully using it as a utility.
And there's no mortgage.
No mortgage, correct.
Okay. Now, all right. You don't owe anything to anyone else. Are there any siblings who are owed a piece of this or not?
No, they were some other inherited IRAs, so they got bought out. Okay. So it's fully under our name.
Got it. Okay. Now, Jason, tell us a little bit more about yourselves. You said you're in your mid-40s. Are you guys both working? Do you have kids? What's happening?
2 kids, 5 and 7. I am working. My wife has been staying at home with the kids and, now taking them to school, but probably going to get back into working here probably in the next six months to a year. I work full time. I make a great wage, about $200,000 a year, and no other debts. Everything's been paid off in the last few years. We had some student loans and car payments and all that stuff, but we paid it all off.
So tell me about, do you contribute to a retirement plan?
So I'm an independent contractor, so I max out my Roth, and then the rest I have just kind of sitting in savings, and I have some brokerage accounts.
How much is in the Roth right now, the Roth IRA?
The Roth, I've got about $250 in there.
Okay. How much is in the brokerage account?
It's kind of complicated because this money's being managed by the people that managed it when it was my father-in-law's. Let's see. So it's $360K in individual accounts, about $500,000 in inherited IRA. And then there's about $1.5 million in alternative investments through this wealth manager, where it's a variety of, to be totally honest, we use them because it was a trusted wealth advisor for my father-in-law. So there's like some interest investments and some alternative investments, real estate things.
It's just like a bunch of stuff that you can't get out of because it's all like locked into this box which says alternative investments, which essentially means it's not going to be correlated with the stock market. And maybe it was fine for your father-in-law. Look, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but it's fine. There's $1.5 million $1,500 in alternative investments, 360 in brokerage, inherited IRA 500, Roth IRA 250. What about your wife from her former employment universe? What does she have?
Nominal. I think it's about 20,000 in a
IRA or
IRA or
whatever.
something. Yeah.
Okay. So right now on your 200 grand a year that you guys you're living on, it's okay. Life's okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're blessed. We're not outspending our means, driving used cars and such.
I feel like you could be doing a much better job of putting some money away for retirement. So now that you don't have a high cost home that you're supporting, I mean, obviously you have taxes, et cetera, but you've got a lot of money. Do you feel like there's a way for you to put more money away, or like just forget about all this other money? This 200 grand a year, is this just supporting you because after you pay your bills and your taxes and your wife's no longer working and you got the kids, do you feel like there's anything extra from that 200 grand a year?
Yeah, we're able to save about $2,000 a month.
That's great.
On top of everything. So but it's I also suffer from paralysis of trying to figure out what to do with it. I mean, I know I should be putting some of this in like the 529 and putting it on autopilot, but I just, I guess probably a series of bad investments over the last couple of years has kind of made me scared to
you don't trust yourself.
Triggers.
That's okay.
I don't.
That's okay. Analysis paralysis, a very good thing that can actually help you prevent you, but also can be, as you say, paralyzing. Do the kids have 529 accounts yet or not?
Yeah, they each have about 10,000 in there that we've sort of put lump sums in at different times, but. I should probably set that on autopilot.
Totally. That'll be very good for you. Do you guys have some cash besides the brokerage account? Is there like an emergency reserve, or is that folded into the brokerage account?
I do have about 50,000 just sitting on the sidelines in cash as an emergency fund.
Great. And besides the general outlook that you have about your lives, tell me like what you think you are going to be shooting for. Like you're working, she goes back to work, you're in your 40s. Are you thinking that there's I really want to retire early, or I want to do something different? Like what's the bigger game plan?
Yeah, I think, I'm 42 right now. So I think, a 10-year plan, I mean, it would be great if I could be retired in 10 years. And
what are you going to do? What do you mean 52? Come on, stop it. That's silly.
Yeah, well, spend more time with the family. I work long hours and I'm out of town frequently, so probably not fully retired, but able to have a little bit more flexibility and not necessarily be on someone else's schedule.
You mean you want us to like hang out with your teenagers when they have nothing
they don't want to hang out with me?
Sweet.
I guess it's me just being wishful thinking.
Exactly. Great idea. Do you guys have life insurance, estate plannings documents? Like what do you got that's out there?
We have a trust that was set up and have about $1 million in life insurance on myself and about $500,000 on my wife.
If you were to think about like, let's just say 10 years from now, but let's use today's dollars. What do you think would be like what you really want? You want 10 grand a month? Would that do the job? I mean, you don't have a mortgage, so it's pretty easy. So like, what are we trying to get to? Give me my bogey, where I'm trying to get to for you guys. What do we need to produce an income?
I think if I were able to, all things being equal, if I had today's salary, if I was still making 200 grand, I think that would be very comfortable. And also that would probably adjust for some lifestyle and college expenses for the kids and everything.
Let me just say this about that. That ain't happening based on where you are today.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put it out there. Doesn't mean you're not going to be able to do it, but where you are this second, what year did your father-in-law die?
2015.
So the inherited IRA is you are able to do it based on his life expectancy. You don't need to take it out early, right?
Correct.
So what you have is you have $770,000 in retirement assets. You have a brokerage account with 360 and this $1.5 million in alternative investments. How would you feel if we said, gosh, we'd love to get another set of eyes on this and have your own relationship with somebody who was perhaps really looking at your lives and doing financial planning, but also making the money work to get there. I think you have to save more money. So I'm not just, the $2,000 a month has got to go, like, just put that into the 529s for now. Let's just do like 1 and 1, very easy. So just do that. Okay. That's a piece of cake. You're probably not saving enough for retirement, but I almost like kind of don't care about that right this second. I would love another set of eyes on someone who can create a financial plan for you guys, even if like you just paid someone one time to do that and then that made you a lot smarter dealing with this other firm. But like, do you feel locked into this firm or not?
It's, it is kind of feel like that. It's, my father-in-law, he was a very, old school guy, handshake, word is bond. And these were the guys that he trusted. So it's, in some of the funds, like some of the people that handle the equities, they've returned 20-25% over the last couple of years.
Big deal. So did the market.
The alternatives have been, single digits. And I feel like that's kind of a pretty big lost opportunity there. So, yeah, I think getting a second set of eyes would be
I think that's going to be better for you guys. I really do. So we're going to send you the name of someone who can help do some planning work for you. Okay. Again, even if it's just a flat fee to pay someone, I actually know somebody. I know someone in Northern California who I might be able to hook you up with also. So I'll talk to a couple of people. We'll get you some names.
Okay, great.
And just to have somebody like do a plan for you, which would really help guide you and also almost have like a conversation that's more where you feel more confident. You don't feel confident, but we want you to feel confident in at least the game plan, which would be like, hey, you know what? These alternative investments kind of not working for me. How can we rotate this out and put this into a different a different investment? Or, maybe someone's going to look at this and say like, hey, you know what? Don't put money in a Roth IRA. What you really should be doing is just putting money. You should create your own retirement plan for you, Jason, and we should just put in a uni 401k, which is just a solo plan for one person. And so that you feel like you've got some agency in this. I feel like it's interesting because you got a ton of money, which is awesome. But the idea of finishing in 10 years, I think, is going to be a tough one unless we get some of the money out of alternative investments and we have a real game plan to at least get you in a place where you're like, I don't want to be on the road X number of days a year. And maybe it's going to be that your wife is working and you can put some more money away. I really think we need a plan. I really do. And I think that while I completely respect everything that you say about your father-in-law and his handshakes and everything, some companies are not specialized to provide the kind of service to the next generation as others. And I just would like to point out that, these folks who may have served your father-in-law really well may not serve you as well. And I just put it out there. That's it.
I agree. Yes.
Do they do financial planning at this firm?
They do, but it doesn't seem to sort of mesh up with where I feel like we should be going. It seems like it's very conservative for, someone in their early 40s, single digit growth over multiple years, where the market's just been on fire.
Yeah. And it also may be that like, they don't do this kind of work. They do like more asset management versus real financial planning. And that's I think that's really what I'm asking is that, sometimes we have firms and it's like an afterthought, like, yeah, we do financial planning. It goes to like the financial planning department after we put your money in this big portfolio that this is how we do it. And other firms are like, well, no, we lead with financial planning. That's what we do. So I think that's what I'm thinking about for you guys, that I just would love for you to have that big game plan and be able to say, this makes sense for us. If you'd like to join us on the program, it's just a few clicks away. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click that Contact Us button. We'll get you on the air. You can subscribe to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Please try to lift someone up. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.